Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of Tarot Juice. I'm gonna skip all the pleasantries and we're gonna get right into it. This tarot reading is gonna be dedicated to today, the 5th of May, moving forward into next week. However, it's not specifically time-stamped to that range. So if you're tuning into this video at any point in the future, this is meant for you at that specific time. Remember, in spiritual terms, time does not exist. The past, the present, and the future all coalesce into one. And the most important time to focus on is indeed the present, because all of the resources that you need are currently with you right now. So let's see what comes up. For reference to anybody curious, I'm using the Prisma Vision Tarot. I love this tarot deck. This is the first one that I bought and the one that I currently still resonate with. It's a little more interpretive than the traditional tarot. And I just really enjoy the art and the way that the guidebook describes each book and the story that it tells. Well, here we have one already. So the general outline of these readings are usually going to be 3 cards to represent sort of the basis of the energy that is going on around you, the energy that is currently at play, and what is most likely to come based on the current trajectory that this energy is following. However, please remember that the future is infinite and it is completely dependent on what you do at the present time. There's the other one. We got one more to come. Here we go. All right. What story are we telling today? So, for reference, I'm going to show you guys the cards that I got. So we're working with the Queen of Pentacles here. Just take that image in for a little bit. And then the current energy that is at play in the present is the Strength card. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Lots of feminine energy coming through. Here we're working with the Knight of Swords. I love that. So, we start off with the Queen of Pentacles, meaning that there's a lot of, you've worked a lot on building on your foundation, right? Working on magnetizing things coming in, right? So that's the yin to the yang of things, which is the state of being, right? Which is a very important step when we're starting a new journey, is we have to be able to just be still, to scan, to observe, to really take that next step forward, right? If we're in a tumultuous state of mind, it's very hard to make the proper decision, the right decision, the decision that is most aligned with what we're looking for. And this shows me that you have taken the time to sit with yourself, to really focus on what it is that you want to do, to really fuel your intention, whatever intention that is, right? And this is showing me that it's been successful, that you've actually been able to sit down and wait for things to come to you rather than you seeking things, right? Because if we're seeking something, we're constantly going to be looking for it. We're never going to really find it. And that's truly the irony of all things, is when we're so excited and passionate about something new, a new trajectory, a new journey, a new passion, it's very easy for us to spread our energy thin by going out into the world and being a little scatter-minded, and this thing, that thing, this impulses you, that impulses you, and then you don't really know which proper direction you're taking, because there's just too much stimulation. So the proper way to, take this journey or start this journey is to really just sit and wait. Wait for the universe to give you the proper step forward, right? So, good job. You're sitting still. You're doing the work. And what this is allowing you to do now is to tap into this beautiful, beautiful card, the Strength card, which taps into Leo energy. And the Strength card, what I love about it is, at first glance, we think strength is all about physical strength, right? But in this case, we're talking about the strength of presence. We're talking about the strength of character, the strength of energy, right? To be able to build energy enough to know when to leap into the direction that we want to go into. I mean, that's really what the feline does. If anyone has a cat, they would really understand this. When the cat is ready to hunt something, it sits, it waits for the right moment. It builds up all of the energy. And then when the moment is right, when it's the stillest, when it's the quietest, it jumps to its prey. And most of the time, it's very successful. So this is what it's telling us to do right now, is now that you've built up all this energy, be very observant of the moment that is right to jump and take that leap of faith forward. Other aspects of the Strength card also are the strength of patience. We just touched on a little bit about this. The strength of kindness. Kindness, that is so important. If you want kindness, if you want the universe to be kind to you, make sure that you are kind to everything around you. Make sure that you give your unconditional love and your unconditional attention and your unconditional passion to all that is around you, whether that be people, whether that be the situations around you, whether that be your passion projects. Make sure that you are kind to all of those things. But most importantly, be kind to yourself. And here we're talking about the mind, right? That inner conversation, that inner dialogue that we're having with ourselves that we hide from the world. It's very easy to say something out with your mouth, but it doesn't really align with what you're thinking in your brain. So if you catch yourself being, for the lack of a better term, negative to yourself in your brain, make sure to steer that conversation into a more positive tone. It's very important here, right? If anyone has heard of the Hermetic law, as above, so below, that's the law of correspondence. Whatever happens up here manifests down here. So if we have negative thoughts up here and we're beating ourselves up here and we're tapping into our negative thought patterns, it's going to manifest into the physical form at some point. So your job is to always make sure that you keep your mind in check. It's to always make sure that you keep your negative patterns in check and you shift the gear and you always find the positive counterpart to that negative pattern. So if you're beating yourself up and saying you don't know what you're doing, tell yourself and affirm that you do know what you're doing, that you are certain. If you're beating yourself up, for example, about your body and your beauty and your image, and you're calling yourself ugly when you look in the mirror, when you're nitpicking all those little minuscule aspects of yourself that you're not so proud of, shift the perspective. Be proud of those things. Those things can only grow with your love. Those things can only express themselves in their most beautiful light with your love and your conscious attention, okay? So this is what the Strength card is telling me, that you have the strength to be kind to yourself and eventually to be kind to everyone and everything around you. And that is your fountain of power, okay? And that takes us into the beautiful Knight of Swords. Now, I love this Knight of Swords card, okay? Now, what specifically I love about this image here, it really shows you that, you know, there is a battle going on here, right? We have this man here with his sword. The sword is, again, a symbol of the word, a symbol of thought, a symbol of communication. You are wielding the sword now, and you are using it consciously to fight against this metaphorical bird monster that's in the mind. And this bird monster really is, I consider it, it's the ego. Not specifically the ego, but it's the ego that is aligned with survival rather than abundance. And this bird is gonna pick at you. This bird is gonna pick at you because you are making changes, okay? We go into another law here, the law of polarity. When we start affirming positivity, the negative is also manifested. It has to. This is the world that we live in. Everything exists with its opposite. So whatever we consciously manifest, its opposite is unconsciously manifested. And it's going to show up if we don't keep ourselves in check, okay? So this bird is gonna come at you. Your brain is gonna come at you. There's no avoiding this. But what you can do is tap into all the tools that you currently, or all the tools that you're building upon now, whether that be meditation, whether that be yoga, whether that be taking a walk, working out, eating better, anything that you have currently integrated into your life. Make sure that you hold on to it, and make sure that you tap into it at the moment when you catch yourself tapping into those negative thought patterns again, okay? Because that is where the work is. It's not specifically the yoga. The yoga tunes your body to be able to fight, to be able to confront, to be able to finally release, okay? The yoga is the tuning. The meditation is the tuning. It tunes your body because your body is an instrument, and it tunes your body to be able to face these things. It tunes your body to be able to confront these things. So make sure that you remember this when your mind starts to tap into its muscle memory again. Remember, the mind is just a computer. It's just a computer. It works automatically. But you, as the conscious user, comes in and rewires it. And the most effective rewiring after affirmations, positive affirmations, the most effective rewiring is actually walking the path and living it, okay? So it's in those moments that are the hardest to make that shift or take that different step or say that different thing. That's where the mind starts to get a little more comfortable doing that over time, right? It gets easier over time, just like a physical habit. The more we integrate a physical habit over time, the more it becomes easier for the body to remember to do it. It's the same thing for the mind. The moment that we are confronted with something that reminds us of our negative thought patterns, that's when we tune into the work. We stand still, we take a pause, and we decide consciously how we want to be today moving forward. So what a beautiful journey here. You've done the work, you've done the magnetizing. Now it's all about being who you have affirmed. Not just feeling it, not just intellectually thinking it, but being it. Be in a state of being. If you want to lose weight, already see yourself as having lost that weight. If you want to start a new job, already see yourself as having that job. If you want to study something, already see yourself as the student. Don't say I want to be, say I am, right? We all know that that is the strongest phrase to use, I am. So that's all we have for today. Please tune in next week for another energy forecast. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'm so excited to be on this journey with you, with my partner Naz Ekara, who will also be releasing a video soon as well with her own reading. And we are just so excited to take this path with you all and to share this path with you all, because again, we're human beings here. We are a collective force. None of us exist independently. It is impossible for us to exist independently because we all tap into a collective brain that is the Creator's brain. And we are all different manifestations of that brain. So, share yourself, collaborate, be with other beings, and don't be afraid to be yourself. And that is the main theme of this reading. Thank you all so much, and please tune in next week. And I wish you all such a blessed week, and be merry. Just be merry, okay? Anytime your brain wants to tell you to be sad, be merry. It's up to you. It is your responsibility. Thank you all so much.